Victims was the theme of the media roundtable put together by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, otherwise known as SERAP, aimed at discussing the consequences of government failure to address corruption in the education, health, and water sectors of the Nigerian economy. However, media practitioners took advantage of the roundtable to discuss some of the challenges facing pen pushers in the country.
Of course, you cannot help people fight for their rights as an advocate if you yourself are ignorant of your rights.
And this is not a question for Sarah. This is a question for you and I. We've had experiences time and again. I've had my experiences, regarding that. People offering financial inducements. They don't even do brown envelopes these days, right? It's no more brown envelope. How much? Okay, said it's dollars and the rest. But what do they do? Account details, right? So there are different ways they go about this. So maybe they should change it from brown envelope to illegal transfer and the rest. So how do we as journalists insulate ourselves? Yes, we have families, don't forget. We have obligations. You need to pay your house rent, you need to fuel your cars or pay for transport and the rest. So how do we as journalists do our job, our duty to humanity, without falling prey?
The issue of ownership, media ownership, how do we go about it to ensure that we perform our duty optimally?
The case still remains that there is victory at the court, but basically, moving out of the court, it just ends at the four walls of the court. It doesn't just extend. And it makes me think about, I was so happy in 2020 when youth actually had to come out en masse and tell the bluff of our government and let them know that we don't want this, it cannot continue. And I'll give it a nod. That act alone has actually brought a lot of sanity and check and balance in what the police does. I live in Ikorodu. I was on my way to Yaba on Sunday and I saw some set of policemen illegally parked, harassing youth. And I could see 2-3 people edit children, what I would not see right when I was growing up. In the early 2000s, you see a policeman and 2 people want to say, why, But I could see it. They have to ask questions.
We actually know there are economic issues to some of the corrupt cases that we have in journalism. Then I think journalists should try as much as possible to improve themselves, get better. Like the lady from Premium Times mentioned, ensure that you are very ethical in all your dealings. If you push out good stories, you do very, very good stories that will attract people, that you can push for probably awards or grants. There are journalists who are not even, working for any organization, and they are very okay, economically, they are doing fine.
So it goes back to the roots. The question of the why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Trust me, if you haven't come to peace with yourself as to why you're doing the job as a journalist, trust me, you'll be easily swayed. So if you're a journalist because you did not get a job, there's already a crack. So for every 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira, you can write anything or publish it. That's just the truth. So the why is really important, right? And then number 2 also, which I'll be very practical, have multiple streams of income. Try and diversify. Even Dangote diversified. That's why it's into cement, sugar, the latest is Indomie. So please try and diversify. Okikeolu is doing this MC, and it's amazing at it, right? You're the wow. Honestly, so for me, I think that to a very large extent will help a lot of us. And then finally, packaging. honestly. You see foreign journalists, and you see American. Yes, we know that the conditions is different, but I'm somebody who believes when you walk into a room, even if you don't have up to $1,000 or 1,000 naira in your account, please look $1 million. Because before people get to know you, your outlook tells a lot. That's the truth. So you walk into a space, you wonder why they give some journalists some preferential treatment, and then you're angry.
The truth is, investigative journalism actually brings you money. So you can go out there and actually do a report and sell it, and you get paid for it.
But too many times as journalists, we focus on government. So we want to get the press release, we want to get the government's response. Yes, it's important, but then you need to hear more from the people. We need to hear more of the people, really. So we like big names, the minister for this, the vice president, the president. Yes, it's good. But they say the biggest office is the office of the citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we need to start treating that office as indeed the most important. So yes, we need to speak to more people in rural areas and urban areas about these issues. If we want to be transparent, if we want to promote transparency and accountability, then we need to speak to those who are concerned. I'll be honest with you, yes, the governor is the governor, right? He's meant to have his eyes and ears to the ground, but he does not know everything happening. He's insulated, by the way. He just drives in his Land Cruiser in that convoy to the airport. He jumps into a private jet. Have you been in a Land Cruiser? If you get into a pothole in a Land Cruiser, you won't feel it. Because there's a fridge inside a Land Cruiser and there's wine. So you're probably sipping on that wine, you're watching stuff on your big screen, you're speaking. So, I mean, they are sometimes detached from the reality, and that is our role to ensure we connect that detachment. So we need to speak to more people, ensure that our content is filled with the people more than the government. So we can now get the government to respond that this road has not been fixed. We don't want to see the new projects you're commissioning. Yes, well, we can do that, they'll pay us for it. But then the bigger story are those roads that are bad, those primary healthcare development centers that are terrible, those schools that don't have classrooms and the rest. So that's also another action point. We need to focus on the office of the citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And the question is, what are the plans of SERAP using campus radio or campus televisions in promoting advocacy in students? Because basically, the students who or the people who are going to be the focus now are the students and the youth in college and institutions. So using them, making them know their right, we help SERAP and help everybody a lot. So basically, what are the plans of SERAP in promoting advocacy in students using campus radios and televisions?
Right, thank you very much for your question. Like the Deputy Director said earlier, we have the SERAP Accountability Club on ground so that you people as students can drive the advocacy beyond the campus, but you begin in the campus.